This past Sunday, we told the story of the Holy Bible to our older children. We talked about how the Bible um, didn't start out as a book, that it actually was stories told a long, long time ago in a circle sitting around a campfire in the desert. Eventually, these stories were then told in homes around tables. Finally, they were written down, and a printing press was made, and books were made. We talked about how the Bible is not just one book. We introduced the library, the books of the Bible, how it's multiple different books, and you can go from the beginning, or you can come in the middle or the end. You can start wherever you want to. But we talk about how in Godly Play in our classes that we tell the stories of the books of the Bible the old-fashioned way, sitting around a circle. And we do that. We tell stories. We don't read the Bible. Very rarely do we read directly out of the Bible, and we don't include any Bible verse memorization or quiz work in our classes. But there's a difference in being told a story and being read to. Both have their places of being. But there's some interesting research that I heard once where it said that children who were told their stories, the good and the bad, but they were told the stories of their families and their grandparents and the ones before, had were more resilient to things as things happened to them going in forward. I thought that was a really interesting statistic. And so that's what we do to introduce the Bible to the children in the Godly Playroom, that it is stories that were told a long, long time ago. You might want to do the same in your family. Just tell the stories around the dinner table. It was wonderful this past Sunday to ask the children what their favorite story was. I wonder what your favorite story was. And just to talk amongst ourselves about some of those. The feeding of the 5,000 was one. The little boy that gave up his lunch. So maybe it's your dinner table. You just wonder with your family, I wonder what your favorite story of the Bible is, and prompt conversation like that instead of just reading it. But you do want to probably have some great Bibles for your children to have access to. Here's one of my favorite, the Jesus Storybook Bible. And then here's a new one of my real favorites, Read, Wonder, and Listen for older readers. I also just wanted to share this one. I got this year for one of the classes, thinking the boys would like it because it's the Brick Bible. It's told by Lego pictures of Lego people been set up. But just this past Sunday, a dainty little girl, picked it, sat there and read it for 15 minutes straight. I don't think she was a reader. She was just looking at the pictures and marked it where she wants to come back because she discovered Babel and she knew the story of Babel there. Another tradition you might want to have, or a way to enhance your family spirituality, is a family Bible. This is an illustrated family Bible. It's beautiful. We have it in one of our classrooms. I've ordered another one. And in the beginning of it has a place where you can mark births, weddings, deaths, lineages. And this is how we tangibly bring in for our children how to know that they are part of this story too. Just because they weren't back then when it was recorded, they are as numbered in the sands as the stars in the sky, as part of the great family. And by writing your name down in your family Bible, you become part of this story. I think that's so cool. So just to close, one other thing about how we approach the Bible and some of the stories is with wonder. We present the stories in the way Godly Play scripts are written, is to present a sense of wonder, a sense of awe, a spark of perhaps even sadness can be part of wonder. Jesus on the cross is definitely a sadness that is introduced to children. And from that approach, we allow them to wonder about these stories. And through wondering, it leads to curiosity. And curiosity is when you want to know more. You want to know why. You want to know some interesting things about it, or details. And if you go the other way of telling just the what and the where and why, you don't promote the wonder. And it's through the wonder that we stay embraced and curious. And so that's our approach of how we introduce the Bible stories in Godly Play.